updates at sprint speed. If you understand the history of Bristol, you know that it's about time. We're just past the halfway point. This is now when tempers begin to flare and fenders could fly. The high banks of Bristol, and it can get heated here in a hurry. Hot temperatures and hot tempers as we are now past halfway, 262 laps in the books. It has been a very unseasonably quiet night at Bristol, Tennessee thus far. Jeff Gordon losing a spot back to 5th position.
Well, not yet. Ryan Newman's working on him here. Here he gets clear.
Actually back to 6th position as Newman takes the 5th spot.
We're about just a little over halfway past this race, and Jeff's still got a lot of time to work on the car. The problem is we've been going so caution-free forever now, and generally have a lot of caution flags to work on these things. So next time he pits, he's got to make the right decision this time what he needs on his car.
Yeah, all these guys have been trying to get their cars dialed in and talking back and forth to their crew chiefs. We've been watching this 12 car. He's been trying to make a few changes on it. If you got more down there, Dave?
Yeah, guys, on the 12th car, Brian Newman, you were talking about it earlier. They need to run very well. They need to get themselves into the chase for the next Stout Cup. They can't finish like they've averaged here. His average finished 21st. And talking to crew chief Mike Nelson earlier today, I asked him, you know, Pat Trice's got a lot of good pub for helping that 2 car. Any of that translating over to you? He said Pat has helped this Penske program a lot. In both cases, we do share a lot of information, and the 2 car success has helped us as well. Example again tonight, Newman running fast.
Both of these cars are in the top 5 right now, so that information is definitely making its way across the teammates.
Wendy, you know team morale is everything in the world. And last week I took a tour of the Penske facility. Hadn't been there like 6 months, and the attitude in that facility was sky high with Pat Trice and me in there. Every room I went in, they kept saying how Pat has brought the attitude and the comfort back, and all the employees. They love working there now with Pat around.
It's all about chemistry. Here we got Clint Boyer chasing down Jeff Gordon in this 24 car.
That is for the 6th position. Clint Boyer trying to follow up on his career best finish of 8th back in the spring here. And don't look now, but the 43 car of Bobby Labonte is coming in a hurry. The King Richard Petty's car. So successful in Bristol over the years with the King aboard, Bobby Labonte, and he's trying to reel these guys in that are running in 6th and 7th.
Bobby's car's been strong all night long. He lost a couple of spots on pit road on that last pit stop under caution, and these guys are trying to work their way back up, but his car's strong.
Well, the 18 car, Jay, he's really on the move. He's went from 40th all the way up to 11th position right now after an early incident today. And he's got a good handling car, and little damage on a right rear quarter panel, but nothing that's really going to affect that car. Good run for him so far. J.J.
Yaley trying to drive and see what's going to happen for 2008. Remember, he's being relieved of this ride because Kyle Busch is going over to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing, and J.J. is a free agent right now in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series.
Is it just me, or does it seem like these guys drive a little bit harder when they're looking for a job, Rusty?
You know, generally, if they're looking for a job, Andy, they drive a little harder, or else they just start wrecking because they're driving too hard. Dave, what's going on down there, buddy?
Well, Rusty, talking with crew chief Steve Addington earlier today, I said, I know JJ's leaving. What about you and the team? He said, oh, we are the team for the future with Kyle Busch. I will try to keep as many guys together and build that team and keep it strong for Kyle when it comes over. But right now, we're just trying to stay focused on the fact that we are still the 18, and we'll be the 18 next year.
J.J. Yaley just takes the top 10 spot away from the 29 car, Kevin Harvick.
Leaders in heavy traffic, left side of your screen, Casey Kane getting beneath Jamie McMurray. McMurray was one of the early cars to watch, running 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the first 50 laps. He is faded now, being shown a lap down. Casey Kane has dominated the laps led here tonight. He has led twice for 247 laps.
Guys, right now, Casey Kane is on the verge of a dominant performance, and the last time we've seen this was Kurt Busch in Michigan, and then before that at Pocono by Kurt Busch again. And Casey Kane's got this Dodge going tonight. The Dodges have been on a roll this year.
Looks like he's getting a little frustrated with these lap cars. He's had a lot of trouble with these guys trying to get around him tonight.
Casey Kane has not won in 2007. He has only 2 top 10s. Doesn't have a top 5 all year long. He could change that all here tonight.
Jamison comes off his initial block. He's behind the linebacker. Just dump it off to him. It's a touchdown. stoked. Let's make it happen. Make it happen.
Look good, because millions can see you on SportsCenter. Upload your sports moment to ESPN.com for a chance to be in your own Dick's Sporting Goods commercial.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
All set here.
Being fastest from 0 to 60 is good. Truckers say fastest from 40 to 70, even better. Throw in 4 massive disc brakes, and you got yourself one happy ending. Available on the full-size Tundra. The truck that's changing it all.
For the worst allergies, I want a product with the best decongestant. My choice is clear, Claritin D.
Nothing works stronger, faster, or longer to relieve your worst allergy symptoms, including congestion, without drowsiness. Get Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Live Claritin Clear.
Introducing an automotive breakthrough. ZNet, only at AutoZone. Now AutoZoners have the power to find you the right part faster with diagrams, photos, and instructions. So you'll get the job done right the first time, every time. ZNet, only at AutoZone.
Total commitment, raw emotion, pure excitement. The 2007 Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. World Championship tomorrow on ABC. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern.
The sights and sounds of the night thus far here on the high banks at Bristol, Tennessee. 287 laps are in the books. NASCAR Nextel Cup coverage presented by Pennzoil. It has been the Casey Kane show. Casey Kane from the pole was led twice for 260 laps. The only other leader was Carl Edwards once for 28 consecutive laps.
Yeah, it just might turn into the Dale Earnhardt Jr. show here shortly. If he can catch Kane, he's got a good second place run going. But Carl Edwards is moving up to the third position and not letting Jr. get away from him whatsoever.
Now, these guys are fighting by some of these lap cars. And I see another car up here getting ready to go a lap down. We see Casey Kane working inside of Scott Riggs, but just ahead of them is Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. He's got just a few laps fresher tires than these guys because he pitted under that last caution, but it's just not helped. These guys have been struggling tonight.
And right now, Jamie McMurray doesn't want Casey Kane to pass that 10 car, because if Casey gets past the 10, then the 10 car becomes our new lucky dog, and it was Jamie McMurray.
Casey Kane, who had led just 66 laps in the first 23 races of 2007. Look how many he's led tonight. 262 in that Dodge for Gillette Evernham Motorsports, and Carl Edwards, the other leader here. If you look at our forward lap leaders billboard.
It's looked good for him so far, but I know one lap that he wants to lead, and that's that last one. He'd give all these up for that last lap.
More on Casey Kane. Dave?
Yeah, guys, and he almost had that going earlier this year here at Bristol. Remember, he ran in the top 5 most of the day, and while running 8th late in the race around lap 282, had a flat left rear tire, ended up in the turn 4 wall. That ended his good run. He had qualified on the outside of the front row that day, and this day, of course, yesterday, he qualified on the pole. So Casey Kane looking better, looking like he was in March, and hoping for the final result.
This car tomorrow for these guys is really proven to be maybe the healing salve this team needs, because they've not had any luck with this other car, with the current car. They've tried an old nose, a new nose. They've tried all kinds of things. But this car tomorrow seems to have been working well for them. They ran good here in the spring. They're running great tonight, led a lot of laps. So maybe this is just what they need.
Well, you know, they used to have the dominant car, the older car, but then they lost their mojo, so to speak, and they've chased it all over the place, and enough so that's really confusing them. But like you said, Andy, this has got to be a good, you know, aspirin for all these guys to speak of in this 9 team, because, gosh, they're running good. And they seem like they're doing it easy also.
Speaking of a guy who may have a big-time headache tonight, Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car. There's Jimmy, the reigning Cup champion, back in 21st spot, in danger now of going a lap down to Casey Kane.
Really been struggling with that 48 car, and he won't just lay over for Casey Kane. He's going to fight hard for this spot.
Kane, the leader, Earnhardt Jr. in second spot. Edwards is third. Kurt Busch in the 2 car, coming off that big win at Michigan in the rain-delayed Michigan race last Tuesday. Now being shown back in 4th position. Concern coming into tonight was who among the 5 drivers who had a shot could get in that top 12 or stay in that top 12 in the race to the chase. The 2 car, winning 2 of the last 3, was holding on to that 12th position. Ahead of him was Martin Truex Jr. by just 33 points. And Truex Jr., who had a lug nut issue early in the race, had to come back on the pit road in the 1 car, now being shown there in 11th position.
But Jerry, Truex and Kurt Busch are just flopping back and forth as this race goes on, from the 11th position to the 12th position, so nobody's running away from each other at all. And you know that Truex is being told where he's at in the point standings right now, probably by his crew chief, and he's driving his brains out. Mike, what's going on down there?
Well, actually, Rusty, what he's being told is to be real patient right now. Kevin Mannion keep coming on the radio, reminding him how many more laps there are. As for what Martin Truex is saying in return, radio silence. Hasn't really said anything all race. Very content with his car and very focused, trying to get back to the front after restarting 26th.
Well, you see our graphic right now showing Martin Truex 156 points right now versus Kurt Busch's 153, so they're within 3 points of each other, and that's just like 1 position, guys.
This 1 car's been solid all night. He's sitting here in 11th spot. He doesn't really need to worry about anything or trying to make anything happen. He just needs, just like his crew chief just told him, just be cool here and just make laps. Don't do anything to beat yourself.
One of the cars we've been watching early on, or most of the night, is the 16 car of Greg Biffle. Brad?
Yeah, I spoke with Greg earlier today and sat down and talked with him, and I asked him about the struggle at the beginning of the season and the causes for that struggle. You know, was it the breakup of he and Doug Rickert from last year, they had a lot of success, or was it he had a hard crash early in the season in testing in Las Vegas? Did that take a little bit out of him? And he said absolutely not. It's none of those things. What has happened to him? Gone back to some old setups, and they've shortened the spindles. He's got the short spindles back on the race car. And let's go down to the Dish Tech Center and see if Tim Brewer, our crew chief, can give us a little more insight on what Greg's talking about.
Thanks, Brad. What we're doing to show you here, folks, is a pretty sophisticated process, but what it's about driver preference. When they're talking about the spindle, you're talking about the height between the lower ball joint and the upper ball joint. We can standardize these things by a measurement that comes from the manufacturer, but what we have a tendency to do, when a driver has a preference that he wants to wheel to gain a little bit more camber, we'll maybe shorten this thing up just a little bit right here. But there again, when Biffle and those guys want the car to turn better in the middle of the corner, we'll move this ball joint down as much as an inch. But what we have to do, we have to fabricate a steering arm to do that. But it's a very sophisticated process that we use the engineering and the input of the driver according to the feel that he likes to come up with a situation that he's really responsive to, likes the feel of the steering wheel, and that's what we go with, the driver's input, and that's what Biffle's trying to achieve, a good feel in the steering wheel and response with the race car.
Great explanation, Tim. For more information on spindles, log on to ESPN.com, search word Tech Center.
Tim just gave us a great explanation about suspension on these cars. And Andy, you probably know more than anybody. You are really involved in all this type of stuff. Everybody likes a different thing. And when we walk through the garage here, we see a lot of different things.
There's a lot of ways to make these cars handle, and it's all about the package. It's how things work together, and those spindles are a big part of it.
One of the guys who has a great spindle tonight and a great package, the 9 car. Casey Kane is just dominating the evening here. 312 laps in the books.
Of all the luxury vehicles in the world, there's only one that performs as beautifully as it looks. The 360 horsepower V8 BMW 7 Series. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
The Infiniti G Coupe at your fingertips. ClearLakeInfiniti.com. It's where Infiniti buyers go first to get the powerful Infiniti G Coupe sports car with over 30 available. ClearLakeInfiniti.com is the fastest way to find the exact new Infiniti G Coupe you want in just minutes. And now, Clear Lake Infiniti has special limited time offers. Log on and come experience the Clear Lake Infiniti difference today.
That's right, people. I quit. It's the dawn of a new Chad. This box isn't big enough to hold Chad's potential. Get ready, people, because I'm a rocket to the top, and it's time to light that candle. Adios, amigos. Woo!
That's not good. Need to keep your car moving? Go to NASCAR.com and click on the NASCAR Performance logo for car care know-how and the listing of NASCAR Performance Network shops near you.
I'll walk.
Ode to the Subway Melt. Melt your hunger away with hot, gooey cheese covering smoky bacon, tender ham, turkey, and crisp veggies on a foundation of freshly baked bread. Your appetite just wrote a check that only a sandwich of this magnitude can cash. The one and only Subway Melt. Not just any sandwich. A massive, mucho, munchable, mouth-watering melt of a sandwich. Subway. Eat fresh.
This is a pen. A what? A pen. Oh, a pen. This is a cone. A what? A cone. Oh, a cone. This is a hole. A what? A hole. A hole! Ah!
Life comes at you fast.
Calling me?
Ron, am I covered?
Yeah, you're covered. With our exclusive nationwide Blue Ribbon claim services, there's nothing to worry about. Your car's been in an accident. We can even guarantee all repairs in writing for as long as you own the car.
Told you we were covered.
To switch to Nationwide, call an agent today.
Nationwide is on your side.
Wednesday, go way behind the scenes of Talladega.
It's unbelievable, you know what I'm saying?
The biggest, fastest race in NASCAR, where it's all about horsepower, blistering speed, and staying in the race.
Johnny, you okay?
NASCAR in primetime, Wednesday at 9.
Very first time NASCAR's ever given any news organization censored access to its inner workings. That's a great show. ABC Primetime coming up 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. We welcome you back to the Sharpie 500. This aerial coverage from high above Bristol Motor Speedway, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official car, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years.
Just had a swap for the second spot here. Carl Edwards in the 99 just passed the 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Jr. was maneuvering around a lot of traffic out there. Got hung up behind Robbie Gordon in the 7 car. Carl Edwards used that to his advantage and got around him. But Carl's had a strong car throughout the night. I'd have to say, guys, these top 3 have been inseparable throughout the night. Been bumper to bumper.
Casey Kane's really working hard on Michael Waltrip, having a hard time getting by him, putting him another lap down, and it's let Carl Edwards catch right back up to the back bumper of Casey Kane.
Well, when these cars run side by side, it creates a lot of drag, aerodynamic drag, and if you're a single car behind these two, you'll run up on them pretty quick like you see Carl Edwards doing now. I'd venture to say if Casey Kane can clear him, he'll start picking up speed and driving away again.
Be patient, man. It looks like patience are running thin.
Casey Kane now with a 99 car of Carl Edwards chomping away behind him. Earnhardt Jr. right there behind Edwards, first, second, and third.
Casey's probably getting frustrated with Michael Waltrip. Michael's 3 laps down, and he's really struggling because of that. And Casey's probably thinking, what in the world's going on? I'm leading this thing. Let me go. But, you know, these guys are all racers. And they want to race, and so they're not giving way to anybody right now.
These are the situations, though, that get these guys' tempers short, because Michael Waltrip is 2 laps down. This will put him 3 laps down if Casey can get by him. And now you see Carl Edwards driving the inside of Casey Kane.
You know, just looking at our monitor, showed him 3 laps down. Then he went back, and it went back to 2 laps down. So you're right. Just a little bit, it's going to go back to 3.
More on Casey Kane, Dave?
Well, and Rusty, I was going to ask you as a driver, you may get 2 or 3 lines here at Bristol now in the corners, but what's the one line everybody wants down the straightaways? They want that outside line, right?
Well, yeah.
Michael Waltrip is on that all the way through.
We got action up front. The 99 car, the 55 and 9 got a little bit together, and 55 getting loose, and now the 9 can't get by, and you got to be getting frustrated if you're Casey Kane.
Well, you are, but back what Mike said, Dave said he's exactly right, because he's coming off the corner, and in case he wants to run out to the wall so he can hold the throttle wide open and keep the momentum going, and he can't do that quite yet.
I got a feeling Michael Waltrip's getting ready to get real loose, too, when Casey Kane gets to the back bumper.
Oh, yeah, you first, second, third, right on his bumper. So in 4th now, Kurt Busch coming in the picture.
Casey Kane now trying to get high. Michael Waltrip going to run the bottom of the racetrack. Kane, pretty good lead, comfortable lead, and now he's in jeopardy of losing that lead. The 99 car of Edwards in 2nd spot. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. to the outside of the 99.
Well, you got to believe shortly here somebody's got to line up their front bumper to the rear bumper of Michael Waltrip to see how it works.
Edwards lead in the inside of Casey Kane. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. He will split the difference and get in front of Kane for 2nd spot.
Looks like here Kurt Busch just caught these guys too, so it's now a 4-car race.
Kurt Busch is going for these points. He wants to get locked in the top 12, and he's not letting any grass grow between him and the rest of them now.
Little contact with Michael. It's like Carl Edwards didn't have the patience Casey Kane did.
You are the leader, buddy. Just be smooth now.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. now moving to the inside of the 55 car. He will try to get by. Now Casey Kane will be able to hopefully...
You know, I really don't know why Michael's doing that. You know, everybody likes Michael Waltrip, but these are the leaders. They're the top 4 cars, and Michael's just racing them like crazy, and finally Edwards just had to root him out of the way.
I can understand if he's 1 lap down or maybe just going down the 1st lap, but being 2 and 3 laps down, I don't understand why he's racing these guys, unless he's just trying to get a little camera time because he's a little frustrated this year and hadn't had the season that he's looking for. He knows he's racing around these leaders, and the cameras are on him, so maybe that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, that could be. Michael's a good little driver, that's for sure. He's always been good with getting his sponsors all the ink he can, but he almost got himself stuck in a wall over that one. See some damage on the left rear of Michael's left rear quarter panel from that shot that Carl Edwards gave him.
Well, that shunt with Michael Waltrip cost Casey Kane the lead. He goes from 1st to 3rd, and now Carl Edwards will reassume the lead. Only had 2 leaders all night long. Edwards is now being shown at the top of the field. Has led 3 times for 35 laps. An unseasonably calm night in Bristol, Tennessee. Don't normally see him like this. Laps winding down. Carl Edwards where he was early on.
Remember, Bob, righty-tighty. It hasn't been an easy year for Napa racing, but I still got my fans. Here's a letter from Jimmy in Myrtle Beach. It's a good question, but no, I don't have the parking brake on. To Amber in Birmingham, I am not saving my tires during qualifying, don't worry. And lastly, to Brad in Denver. To my knowledge, my head has always been located right here on my shoulders. But thanks for asking. Is this the kind of fan mail I always get?
Panasonic Tough Books, engineered to match the terrain, to protect your work no matter where you work. Durable, reliable, wireless. Tough Book. Work anywhere. Risk nothing. Visit Panasonic.com/toughbook to find out more. With Intel Centrino Duo Processor technology for unsurpassed wireless freedom.
Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Wow.
This is Bill. He works for Ford, and he's wrecked more cars than Hollywood.
You ought to see my insurance rates.
I'll take care of the jokes, Bill. Did the Ford F-150 get a 5-star crash rating?
Yep, 5 stars for both driver and front passenger.
What about the other guys?
Some of the others didn't do as well.
Ooh. So I guess sometimes it's better to play it safe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Take the Ford Challenge. Find out why the F-150 is the best choice.
And it all comes down to this for Hauer.
For his fiancée, it's meant postponing their wedding for this event.
It's a clean start. There seems to be some sort of trouble with the Hampton boat. Oh dear, a seat just broke.
The boat is literally falling apart.
Somebody is going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Not the official tools of competitive rowing. The official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears.
When it comes to choosing a motor oil, there are hundreds of choices. When it comes to choosing a filter, there's only one. Go to Fram.com to get $5 off your favorite oil and Fram filter, and see for yourself why Fram is America's #1 oil filter. It's not just another oil change, it's a Fram oil change.
You need a girlfriend.
This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by DirecTV. Big weekend of racing, Labor Day. Next week, we head to the California Speedway, where drivers take turn 1 at over 200 miles per hour. This 2-mile D-shaped oval super speedway is located 52 miles east of LA and 60 miles west of Palm Springs. And this is where Matt Kenseth shines. He took 2 of the last 3 Cup races there and has 4 California Busch wins. The NASCAR Busch Series at Fontana next Saturday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, and the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series at Fontana, presented by Principal Financial, at 7. And here in Tennessee, the car of tomorrow on a brand new concrete surface and configuration at Bristol at night. But a lot has been uncharacteristic. Brad, what jumps out at you first?
Well, the tremendous long green flag runs that we've watched tonight. You know, we just have not seen this over the years here at Bristol. And the thing I'm starting to watch for are some of the guys who ran in the Busch race last night, like Jeff Burton and Ryan Newman and Kyle Busch. We're going to see if these guys can are running this race as well, because it's got to be a tremendous strain after running the race last night and having these long runs without any rest. So long green flag runs have been really, really impressive.
354 of 500 laps so far. What should we be looking for now?
Well, I think as these pit stops get ready to come up here, we're getting ready to have some slowing down the action. So whoever can get off pit road and keep their position without losing positions, significant positions, has a good chance to go ahead and stay out front and possibly win this race.
And so far tonight, it's been all about Casey Kane, the only other driver to even get close. Carl Edwards, Doc, leads right now.
Carl Edwards, 1 win here in 2007.
2 more laps.
And pit stops becoming order of the day. Here's the 18 car. Yaley, he was running in 8th position on pit road. Dave.
Great run continues for J.J. Yaley. He said nothing on the radio since the last stop, so we'll take a peek and see if they go to any changes on the chassis, and they do not. They're going to just make any slight air pressure adjustment they have to, but Yaley driving a great race so far, worked his way all the way up into the top 10, just fell out of it just a few laps ago. Left side finishing up, and J.J. is on and off the pit road.
Right now, these cars got 8-gallon fuel cells. Our Andy Petrie just told me they can run about 135 laps, so it's going to be really tough for these guys to make it to the end, and pit stops are happening now.
99 on pit road. He jammed the brakes on it, saw smoke billowing from the front of those tires as he got on the pit road. Now it's creeping down at 30 miles an hour. Dave.
One of the longest drives on pit road. Carl finally makes it into his pit stall. Tight in the center was the complaint that he had. They were going to make, looks like they're going to make just an air pressure adjustment on the 99. Allen.
During that entire green flag run from the last restart, Dale Jr. said nothing about his car. So far tonight, minimal changes to this 8 machine. It'll be a 4-tire stop and no noticeable changes to this 8 car once again.
Wanted a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment. Air pressure out of the right front. Tire specialist Kevin White giving them a right front tire that had just a little less air pressure in it. Car wants to turn a little bit better for Casey. They'll get on pit road. It was under yellow before. Green flag stop. A good one, Mike.
Martin Truex Jr. all the way back into the top 10. Says it's a little bit snug in the center. A 4-tire change, a slight air pressure adjustment, and that's all for Martin Truex Jr. Very happy
Kurt Busch's car on pit road now. They will go to air pressure for Kurt as well. The car has been tight tonight. It's been loose tonight. They've got it back and forth in different directions. This last run, just a tick loose for Kurt, which isn't bad here at Bristol. 4 tire change being completed. He leaves pit road.
These should be the final pit stops. Here's the 07, Clint Boyer coming in, the 10 of Scott Briggs, and the 12 of Ryan Newman, who was the leader coming off the racetrack. Dave.
Just a few laps ago, Ryan radioed to crew chief Mike Nelson. A series of things tight off the corner was one of them that he wanted him to work on just a little bit. Chassis adjustment and air pressure adjustment for Ryan this time. This crew trying to get him into the chase by a good pit stop. Mike.
After the last adjustment on the 20 car, Tony Stewart complained they tighten the center. They make another chassis adjustment and a 4 tire change this time.
The 5 car who won here in the spring is being shown as the leader. There comes the 24 car of Jeff Gordon to try to lead his first lap.
4,900 now, 3,900.
As Kyle Busch peels off to come down for his pit stop at 30 miles an hour. Seems like an eternity, Rusty, to be able to get down pit road when you're running 120 miles an hour. You just jam on the brakes at 30, you just creep along.
Oh, these guys are barely putting around and almost had damage with Kenny Wallace coming in. Kyle Busch did. Alan?
Little crossover there on pit road. Kyle Busch talked about his front tires chattering earlier tonight. They continue to make adjustments on this car and continue to work on it. They had moved up to the 11th spot just before the pit stop. It's a 4 tire change from the 5. We'll see if he lost a lot of ground because of that crossover on pit road. Dave?
The top seed for the chase right now, Jeff Gordon. He is locked in tonight. A race they wanted to win, or they didn't really care about anything else than that. They're trying to turn this car around right now. It is only tight for a fraction of a second in the middle of the corner. Otherwise, very loose. You see him going to the chassis adjustments through the back window. They'll make an air pressure adjustment as well. Crew chief Steve Letarte trying to bring this car around for Jeff Gordon.
15.1 seconds. Steve Letarte, you heard the adjustments there. 132 laps to go, and it shouldn't be a problem now to make it as far as fuel is concerned, Andy, but if you can hang on to loose tires and be able to keep the car clean. One car spins around between turns 3 and 4. That is the 6th car of David Reagan, and that will bring out caution for the 4th time tonight.
Bungee strap or something. This thing keeps popping out of gear for some reason.
That was a huge break for Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. They're showing 3rd on the board right here. Had not made his stop yet. So this is going to be a huge break for Jimmy.
Johnson, remember, came into pit road on that last yellow, came in the second time. He stayed back out on the racetrack here, had not come on the pit road.
And that bought him just enough laps to be able to stay out and take advantage of this caution.
So a great call by Chad Canals. You talked about it earlier, bringing him in, maybe giving him a chance where he hasn't run that well all night long.
Now, Andy, is he going to worry about running out of gas right now in these high banks? He's got to be really low on fuel. I think he'd have to probably get down on the apron, or else his 48 just might run out of fuel.
I think he's okay because he did make a pit stop after these guys did under caution. He's got a few extra laps. Here's the 7 car. He's also a guy that benefits from this.
Bobby Gordon led last week at Michigan. He leads again here tonight at Bristol, Tennessee. He comes on the pit road. Jimmy Johnson following him down.
Also the 41 car of Reed Sorensen. He had not made his green flag stop yet either. It's a big break for these guys.
Long way around. And by the way, the 1 car, Martin Truex Jr., will get the free pass. He will get back on the lead lap and now put 16 cars back on the lead lap here in the final 130 laps.
Look at the right front tire change on Robbie Gordon's got a light on his helmet. Really got those lug nuts lit up. Look how luminant that is. That's something.
That helps a ton. These night races are so hard for these tire changers to be able to see those lug nuts. I've been a front tire changer. I know how hard that is to see these lug. That's a great idea.
Jimmy Johnson getting his service.
Go. Clear out to the wall. Clear out to the wall. Good job, guys. Good job.
For more information on pit stops, log on to ESPN.com. Search word know-how. Crew camera for The jack man for Jeff Gordon. Jeff Cookie Cook out of Mallard Creek, North Carolina. Got to heave that big 24 car in the air with that jack. Gets it around to the left side. Gets the jack down and the car in the air. Great pit work. Jeff Gordon back out on the racetrack.
How long has he been up there?
I don't know. I think a while.
You all right, Mike?
It's him again, Danny. Hey! You there?
Look, I said no calls at work.
Oh, didn't know I had to make an appointment.
Look, I'm just trying to earn some paycheck.
Oh, bring up the $1 million you're trying to win me? What are you doing that's so important? I got stuff going on today too, man. I gotta go shopping for a birthday gift for my girlfriend. She does not want an amplifier. I found that out the hard way.
Enter the Sprint Speed Million Sweepstakes presented by Motorola. You could get a call from an Nextel Cup driver and a chance at $1 million.
Hey, we need music. Okay. All right, this one.
When the mood for something spicy hits you, check out McDonald's latest snack sensation, the Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. Juicy all-white chicken breast meat and a smoky sweet sauce with a kick.
Where will you live after a house fire? One call to Farmers Help Point could fix that. Farmers Help Point. Sanity makes a comeback.
So, you've been going out, huh? Big parties, music, pretty ladies. Son, we need to talk about protection.
Dad, I'm 26.
Yeah, I know. But you're never too grown up for your old man to give you one of these.
Oh, man. Dad, thanks.
Every Coors Light can has a protective liner to lock in that refreshing frost brewed taste.
You can never be too careful.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Every lap, every driver, all on your computer. The all-new Track Pass Race View, only on NASCAR.com. It's crunch time. Go to NASCAR.com to watch live Nextel Cup racing from Bristol.
5 drivers trying to work their way into the top 12 here in the chase of the Nextel Cup. The race to the chase winding down. It all begins tonight here in Bristol, Tennessee. In fact, it only has 125 laps tonight here in Bristol, Tennessee, as we head to California and in Richmond, and the race to the chase will be over. A lot of anxious drivers and nervous people. This guy's not too anxious. Carl Edwards sitting out front right now for the 4th time tonight. The 99 car being shown as the leader.
I'll tell you, the guy I'm really concerned about for himself right now, Jerry, is the 29 car, Kevin Harvick. He's all the way down to 12th in the points right now. He took a huge hit, and it all goes back to Watkins Glen with the problem he had there. Lost a lot of points, but now his car's not handling good tonight, and he is in trouble right now. He's tied for 13th right now with Dale Earnhardt Jr. No, he's not tied. I'm sorry. He's in 12th, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 13th behind him. So Kevin's the one in trouble right now.
There's Kevin Harvick in 12th. He finished 36th at Watkins Glen. We showed you the run-in with Juan Pablo Montoya. That cost him a couple of spots. And now with this run tonight, with the struggles tonight, Andy, he is down there toward the back in 12th position. Restart in Bristol, Tennessee. Edwards will lead him down. Tony Stewart getting back in the hunt here with the 20 car. He made some adjustments on that pit stop, and now he's going to maybe a factor here in the final laps. He said he was way too tight, Mike, prior to that stop.
And Doc, they made a track car adjustment and an air pressure adjustment, and they feel like they've got a pretty good race car here for the stretch run. Greg Zimbinelli telling Tony Stewart just a while ago that we've got a tremendous car on long runs. The thing we really need to improve on is the first 4 or 5 laps. We're having some difficulty taking off, but right now they're back in the hunt.
Tell you what I was looking at some of these cars. They're really running low air pressures, Andy. You could see the sidewalls on a lot of these cars flexing out, in particularly the 16 car, Greg Biffle. He's got a pretty good handle on cars throughout the night. They're definitely trying something, but Tony Stewart's got a good run, and he's getting blocked right now by the Greg Biffle car.
That's right along with our Wrangler telemetry. Take a look at Tony Stewart's car here. Watch the RPM gauge and the miles per hour here on a half-mile racetrack.
8,900 RPMs out of these engines we're seeing right now. When they qualify, probably close to about 9,500 RPMs and full speed. And qualifying, you lose how much, Andy, in these races, you think?
Well, it looks like they're dropping down quite a bit, but they can turn about 9,500 RPMs. But these cars are running a lot slower now in race trim than they were in qualifying trim.
43 of Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They battle for the 6th position. Labonte has taken that spot away from Earnhardt Jr. and now set this up. Bobby Labonte having a really good run here tonight.
Yeah, Bobby's being solid as a rock throughout the night. He hasn't had any problem at all. It's been pretty clean and good runs throughout the night.
Now, a moment ago, the 8 car got a little bit of tap from behind with the 12 car, and it cost him. Whoa, he just managed to hang on, but that could have been very costly. That's bump and run, I guess, and that allowed the 43 car to make the move by.
Yeah, that was a close call for the 8 car.
Yeah, they run up in all.
If he'd hit that wall.
They run up in all that traffic, and looks like the 8 car just got held up, and the 12 car, he was just still in the throttle and got him in the quarter panel. But hey, you're right, that could have been big because he had the rear end on that car hung out going at the wall.
This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Clint Boyer, the 07, being shown in 3rd. Kurt Busch, the 2 car, was 4th. You see Jeff Gordon in the 24 car.
So Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon are 1 lap down. You see Kurt Busch, he's the lead lap car.
For more on Jeff Gordon, let's check in with Dave.
Man, it's kind of one of those things that's hard to figure out on a short track like this, but Jeff Gordon was one of the later cars to pit, and he was in the bottom part of the top 10. So other cars, including leader Carl Edwards, hit it earlier and were running faster. So when the yellow came out for David Reagan's spin, Jeff had been trapped a lap down.
Okay, Jeff Gordon better be happy he's locked in a chase for the championship because he's going on 3 bad races in a row right now. Bad luck. You look at Watkins Glen, wheel hopped the car, went off course, and last week spun off a turn 4. And now he's a lap down because of this unscheduled. It was a scheduled stop, but just bad luck on the stop with the caution flag coming out when it did.
You're speaking of the caution flag. It came out for the 4th time a day, and the reason it came out was because the 6th car, David Reagan, had a problem with the shifter. He said it was popping out of gear.
Right here's the shift handle in the car, and that you see it staying down in high gear. That's what these guys run in. They're running 4th gear. And Tim Brewer, can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening with this 6 car?
Yeah, what happened, Andy, when the thing popped out of gear, the driver, he gets on there and he said, hey, I got to have a bungee cord. But, Andy, as we learned at Junior Johnson's, the first thing you do is put some stuff in the car that the driver don't have to ask for. You simply reach over, get that bungee cord, put it on there, and keep on trucking. That's something that the driver can do himself. You know, you need to be aware of it, but still yet, it needs to be installed in the car. COT car, old car. That's just old school racing.
Yeah, that'll hold her in there, Tim.
For more information on gear shifts, log on to ESPN.com, search word Auto Tech. All this modern technology, we use a bungee cord to hold these race cars and these shifters in position.
Well, take a look at the shifter right there, how much it's vibrating. Let's ride along just a little bit longer, Andy, and look how hard that thing's vibrating, and it's probably just vibrating itself out of gear. The Roush cars, the 6 and the 17, are having these 2 problems, and now you see Carl Edwards with all this. Something's going on there, I would think.
He's got a high-speed vibration in the car, maybe in the drive shaft, or maybe even in the transmission itself that's causing that vibration there.
Moving in on 100 laps to go here at Bristol, Tennessee. Carl Edwards being shown as the leader in the 99 car. Kane Boyer, Kurt Busch, and Earnhardt Jr. in the top 5.
It's a summer filled with savings during the Summer Drive sales event going on now at Bayway Lincoln Mercury. Drive home the versatile Mercury Mariner for only $279 a month. Or drive home the economical Mercury Milan for only $199 a month.
Come test drive the Mariner or Milan and compare affordable luxury at Houston's #1 Lincoln Mercury dealer for 11 years in a row. Bayway Lincoln Mercury. Open Sunday.
In racing, the lucky dog is the guy who gets his lap back after a caution flag. But at Aaron's, everybody's a lucky dog. At Aaron's, you can get a lap back on your credit no matter what your situation is because there are no credit checks at Aaron's. You're pre-approved. And Aaron's has the lowest prices on name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers guaranteed. Come see why everybody's a lucky dog at Aaron's. Attaboy, Lucky. Good dog.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, caution number 5 coming out on lap 395. The 6th car of David Reagan again. The car looping around down between turns 3 and 4.
Must have had some more problems with that transmission jumping out of gear.
From the 55 car on board for Michael Walker. Take a look at what happened up there in the 6 for Reagan.
The car just turned around, looked like for no reason.
Guys, I don't know, just bungee cords. The hook fell off or something.
The hook fell off the bungee. I tell you, that's not your day when the hook on a bungee cord flies off. I mean, you got Brewer showed us the bungee cord, but I think Tim probably meant that if you're going to use a bungee cord, it better be a good grade one. This looks like this bungee cord broke, and they're back in it, putting another one in right now.
While we are under caution for the 5th time, let's check in with our in-race reporter, Carl Edwards, who happens to be our leader.
Carl Edwards, Rusty Wallace, and ESPN, you got us?
I'm clear, Rusty.
Carl, you're having a great night tonight. The car looks fantastic out there, high, low, all over the track. But, hey, where's your favorite lane out there? You've had enough now to figure out where you like to run at.
I don't know. It kind of depends on the run. Seems like at the beginning of the run you can run anywhere. And late in the run you can run anywhere. So, I don't know. Just listening to Bob read my lap times, and it seems like every once in a while I'll be fast on the bottom, and some laps I can be faster running up high. It's a pretty fun racetrack.
Carl, how you like the car tomorrow here on this racetrack? What's the driver feedback's probably something everybody would like to hear about this car.
Actually, this car drives pretty well here. I'm pretty impressed with it. Every time we go out, our cars tomorrow get better and better. So, I'm excited about it. I'm really enjoying it. I never thought I'd enjoy it this much. Not when we ran that first race. I was worried, but I feel good about it now.
All right, Carl. Thanks for talking to us, buddy.
Thanks, Rusty.
This is the 10th race of the year for the car of tomorrow. It'll run next at Richmond International Raceway. It will run a total of 16 events here in 2007. Under caution for the 5th time. If you're leading and you're bored, you just go up and say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Pace Car." Back in a moment.
So this is the first room that I've worked on that I really wish nobody had to use because so many heart attacks can be prevented. Her husband didn't expect to have a heart attack, but you can take action to stay out of this place. Bear aspirin, taken regularly, cuts the risk of heart attack by 32%.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Bear aspirin. Expect wonders.
And for heart health and strong bones, try Bayer Women's Aspirin with calcium.
There's over 100 years of racing heritage behind every new Ford. We use racing technology to make our vehicles safer, designs bolder, performance stronger. At Ford, racing's in our blood. Don't miss Ford Championship Weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Enter to win the ultimate fan experience at racetothedream.com.
Steve Bunin with this SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. The Atlanta Falcons have decided they will go after Michael Vick's $22 million signing bonus, since he is in violation of his contract as a suspended player in the NFL. Heroics at the Little League World Series, a walk-off grand slam to send Japan to the championship over Curacao. They will play the American representatives from Georgia, who advanced, defeating Texas. The game tomorrow on ABC. Next SportsCenter, 11:30 Eastern.
Just back to green flag racing here in Bristol, Tennessee. Less than 100 laps to go here in our 500-lap NASCAR Nextel Cup event presented by Pennzoil. Carl Edwards trying to pick up his second win of 2007. Tony Stewart, who has not been much of a factor most of the night because his car has been way too tight in the middle of the corner. They worked on that car. You heard our pit reporters Mike Massaro tell you they've got the car adjusted, and Stewart and the one car, Martin Truex, are trying to make their move toward the front.
Okay, another car that came in that last pit stop and put tires on was a 48 car, a Jimmy Johnson. And that's probably a pretty good move because he was back in an area where he could put tires in that thing, and he's working the top groove pretty hard right now. And I got to believe these new tires are going to help him late in this run.
Got a huge break when they had that caution and they hadn't made their green flag pit stop, and he's making the most of it here.
It's hard to make do what he wants to do, because he's got the 22 car, Blaney, in front of him. He just can't get that clean air. And now Juan Pablo Montoya pulls up in front of him, blocks him in there. And when you have new tires and you can't use it to your advantage because you're blocked in, it'll wear those tires down, and then you can't. Then they're just not as sticky then.
Heavy traffic here. These guys that came in and took tires there just a moment ago. And in traffic, I mean, anything can happen. Watch the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson. 38, I'm sorry, behind him, that David Gilliland.
Robbie Gordon got in the back of David Gilliland, the 30 car, turned to 38, turned him dead sideways, but he held on. And Andy, these car tomorrows, I got to believe that wing is really working good on him, because David had that car pretty sideways and still held on.
These cars are very forgiving, it seems like. In this race, this new surface here, too, I believe is very forgiving for these cars.
Well, when we talked to Carl Edwards, our in-race reporter, just a little while ago, he was pretty impressed with the car. He said he likes driving it and pretty happy. Now, you heard Kyle Busch, when he won this year, hated the car. Didn't like it at all, even though he won.
Carl Edwards, our leader here, with just 90 laps to go in the 99 car. Edwards has led 4 times for 93 laps. And let's check this action back here. The 24 car, who was the Lucky Dog Award winner, he got back on the lead lap. Little pushing and shoving back here in the pack.
Let's take a look at what just happened here. 66 gets in the back of the 38, gets him sideways again. He bounces off him, hits him again. Now Jeff Gordon almost gets a little bit of that, and Jeff picks the throttle up and drives around the 38, and he's got more momentum exiting the corner than David Gilliland does at the moment, so that helped out.
It's like David Gilliland's just getting pushed and shoved all over the racetrack.
Edwards, Kane in second spot, Boyer, Kurt Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the 5th position. Let's listen to his radio.
Will you quit trying to get me to cheat out of my box and into my box? I ain't doing this ever, no matter what. So quit getting in my ear about it. That's just a big advantage. That's why I'm in your ear about it, because if you use it right, then that's how you get beat in and out on pit road a lot of times. So trying to get you to be aware of it, use it when you can. Yeah, well, if you got it up your sleeve, you need to share it with everybody instead of yourself.
Well, the one thing about that, he's trying to get some more speed coming at the box and leaving the box. What Dale Jr. is worried about, if he does that, he might get a pit road speeding penalty. Now, and Tony Eury Jr. said if you use it right. But Andy, if you use it wrong,
you can get a speeding penalty if you use it wrong. But what Tony Eury Jr. saying is this is the way to make some time, because when you're inside your pit box, if that segment that your pit box is in, you can actually speed out of there until you get to the line, because they're only measuring between the segments. And so if your pit box is in between those segments, you can actually speed to the next one and then get on your pit road speed.
That is Tony Eury Jr., who's not only the crew chief but also Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cousin, and they played together growing up. They've been together for their entire lives, so they could talk to each other like that, very openly and very frankly.
Well, one thing the crew chief's job, one job of the crew chief is to find those loopholes and try to find any little way to get an advantage. And that's just a small advantage on pit road, but we're really talking about split seconds on pit road that can get you quite a few spots here.
That 2-car and 8-car, that can't get away from each other. The battle of the beer cars, it continues here at Bristol.
These were the guys we were watching for that elusive 12th position, and right now the 2-car would be up in 11th. The 40-car of David Stremme, one of those guys that came in and took fresh tires here on lap 398. He just had a little brush with the outside concrete. Caution now being shown, the 6th car of David Reagan. His car loops down in turn 1, so Reagan brings out the caution again here, this time for the 6th time tonight.
They're going to have to work on the car this time. They've got some damage on the right front. Evidently, whatever's causing these spins is, jumped out there and got them again. They've had enough.
Yeah, this car kept popping out of gear throughout the night, and every time it pops out of the car...
I can't tell you for sure, Jimmy. I don't think so.
Tough break for the rookie, David Reagan. He goes back behind the wall. Leader staying out. 79 laps to go here in Bristol under caution for the 6th time.
With Dad.
I want to hear it. Don't go talk to your mother.
Well, you just get it, don't you?
Listen, if you're going to live under my roof, you're getting this new phone.
I promise I will talk way too much.
Well, I give a hoot, because all that talking is not going to cost me a fortune.
This is completely fair.
I got news for you. Life is fair.
You can control me forever.
I raised you to talk to me like that.
GoPhone is changing the conversation about cell phones. Everything you want plus unlimited talk without a surprise bill. Singular's name is now AT&T.
Homer eats Whopper, takes 75. Action.
Ow! 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 Double meat, double cheese, double bacon.
3-second rule. Cut. Cut.
What? I get sweaty when I eat.
Double meat, double cheese, double bacon, double...
Cholesterol. It can come from that cherry pie, but also from your granddad's sigh. From beef off the grill and your grandmother, Jill. A healthy diet is important. When that's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Cholesterol comes from 2 sources, food and family. Vytorin treats 2 sources. Only Vytorin helps block the absorption of cholesterol from food and reduces the cholesterol your body makes naturally. Vytorin was also proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone, more than Crestor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor right away about unexplained muscle pain or weakness, which may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Certain medicines or foods may increase your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. So eat right, stay active, but if that's not enough, ask your doctor about adding Vytorin, 2 sources of cholesterol. Treat them both with Vytorin.
Thunder Valley under the lights on a Saturday night. Casey Kane going a long way to get a disappointing season back on track. Let's take a look in the McDonald's race rundown. He started from the pole and showing some great skills tonight. A caution, Johnny Sauter getting in front of him. Great job getting around him.
He did a wonderful job. You know, they had the longest run without a caution first part of this race. They ran 74 laps previously, but he did a great job getting out front early.
And night ended early for Denny Hamlin. Lap 211. He He knew it was coming, the blown engine.
Yeah, they lost the motor. He felt it coming, but like I say, on his second one of the year, he's done a great job. He's still mired deep in this point chase. Bad night, but he'll make up for it.
And the king of concrete is leading the wave right now. Carl Edwards has led the second most laps. Now, we know he's won 4 or 5 Busch Series races on concrete this year, but how about a cup race?
He has been very impressive tonight. He's got a strong hot rod. He's marched that thing to the front. He's going to be difficult to get around.
Doc Roush Racing has been dominant at Bristol. Carl Edwards can lead the way tonight.
Exactly, Susie. Matt Kenseth won here last August. Matt Kenseth won here the August before that. He's won the last 2 in a row. And it could be Roush Fenway 3 in a row if Carl Edwards can hang on here tonight. There have been 12 lead changes among 8 different drivers. Carl Edwards has now led 4 times for 108 laps. Our camera on the Chevrolet pace car looking back at Carl Edwards. There's the 42 car of Juan Pablo Montoya on the inside. He is the car 1 lap down.
73 laps to go. 73. Green flag, green flag. Clear low, clear low. Yeah, you're good. Still outside. 3 back. Still outside. Sprint side, Jim. Still out there. He pulled away from us. Outside. 4 back. No hole outside. Made a bit on the outside, didn't make it. You're following you through my house.
Really good run tonight for the 07. Clint Boyer trying to get his best ever finish at Bristol, Tennessee, being shown back in the 3rd position. On that last caution flag on lap 421, we had a number of cars come on the pit road. Both the 48 and 24, Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon pitted. Robbie Gordon came in. Reed Sorensen came in, guys. They put some fresh tires on.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, these guys are at the tail end of the lead lap. It'd be a good time to kind of reset and get these guys some fresh tires to see what they can do, put them on offense.
Take a look at the battle for 8th place right now. Martin Truex working the top side of Bobby Labonte. But these are 2 cars that have been really strong throughout the night. And it's probably going to be hard for each one to clear each other because they've been so strong. Guys, I got to believe with 68 laps to go, tensions are going to get high, drivers are going to get nervous, and caution flags are going to fly. I don't think we've seen the last one right now. Back in the pack, they're running awful tight. They're all starting to get a little nervous now. They're running out of time.
Veteran Bobby Labonte making his 30th career start here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Back in 1993, made his first start. Best finish was 3rd here. Carl Edwards trying to hold on here for the final 66 laps. Let's listen in.
Said you wanted me to start taking risks, old boy. I hear you, buddy. This is fun, isn't it, Bob? It's fun for me. Today, I got this guy with the hat next to me. Tuesday might not be so fun.
I think he's talking about Jack Roush.
Yeah, Jack Roush comes to Concord, North Carolina every Tuesday to have the team meetings. And that's what he was referring to, Bob, was, hey, it might not be so fun on Tuesday when Bob shows up. So
it's going to be fun if they keep it up here.
Yep.
Roush Fenway drivers are running order. They got Edwards, Biffle in the top 10, Kenseth, McMurray, and David Reagan's had his trouble with the shifter back in 40th spot.
Tonight on SportsCenter, full post-race highlights, interviews, and analysis. Plus, a Little League walk-off grand slam, a Team USA blowout, and the best of Saturday's coast-to-coast NFL action only on SportsCenter.
What's the best way to follow your Fantasy Hall of Famers on game day? ESPN Fantasy Football's Fantasy Cast with real-time updates, red zone alerts, and instant access to GameCast. All for free.
Just that quickly, we're under caution once again. The 7 car, Robbie Gordon, had troubles coming off of turn 2 and spun it, and he got it righted, but...
but 17 head us. You're behind the 25. Get in front of that 36.
Rusty called it. He said that the caution flags were going to fly, and here's another one.
Well, Andy, it's it's not that I called. It's that you could look out the window and see them all getting kind of crazy out there. As Robbie Gordon comes across actually in front of Matt Kempis, and that was kind of his fault. Robbie's was. It just kind of run out of room, but you can tell these guys are running out of time right now. Tensions are getting high, and they want to get the best finishing positions they possibly can.
Yeah, it looked like Robbie Gordon just changed lanes, turned left on Matt Kempis.
Easy, come on. Good job. Caution's out.
Michael Waltrip, watch him try to snake his way through.
Hold up. Go straight. Keep coming. Go straight. There you go. Caution's out.
I tell you, Robbie Gordon did a great job holding on to that car. We all know he's one of the best drivers out there, and guy can drive anything. Watch this right here. He spins this thing, goes to the bottom, holds on to it, stays in the throttle. Now he holds the brakes. He locks the brakes down. See the tires locked up? That's what saves you right there.
Caution for the 7th time to go. We're back with 60 laps to go in just a moment.
Nice race, Casey. See you later.
Sir, please step out of the vehicle. Please place both hands on the vehicle. No, sir, the rear of the vehicle. Okay, sir, get that headlight fixed.
Everyone admires a great driver. At Allstate, great drivers can even get a bonus, the safe driving bonus, only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
The war in Europe is over. The unconditional surrender.
This is our country.
After 89 years in the making, this is our truck. The 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Give it to me, 1, 2.
Introducing Applebee's new Ultimate Trios. Great taste, great big portions, and a great price. Choose 3 from 7 delicious options to create the ultimate platter at an unbeatable price. New Ultimate Trios, only at Applebee's.
Whoa! That's one monster case of athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Actin Tenactin. It cools and cures most athlete's foot on the whole foot. Lamisil Gel can't say that. Get boom! Tough Actin Tenactin.
This is Marty Reed at Infineon Raceway, where the points battle is heating up again. After Dario Franchitti's success at Indianapolis, the last couple of races have been upside-down affairs. One of them his own doing after the finish line right there. What happens? Well, you'll find out. The margin between first and second is down to 8 points. You'll see it all on ESPN Sunday, 3:30 Eastern.
Finishing up caution number 7 on the night, we welcome you back to the Sharpie 500 Bristol Motor Speedway. Just 58 laps to go. It has been a fairly clean race, but it could get hot and heavy here in the last 50 laps. Rusty, everyone anticipating we may see some action and maybe a little bumper tag here.
Well, right now the tensions are sky high. These guys are not in the mood to play nice right now, and they're all over the throttle. And, you know, I was talking earlier about I don't think these cautions are over. Here we go.
And Carl Edwards hang on. Casey Kane has led 305 laps and has not had a top 5 in 2007. He's hungry.
Well, I tell you, Carl Edwards, he looks like he was shot out of a cannon right there. He had to get ahead of those lap cars to get a clean run, and he did that. But Casey Kane followed him right through, and he's got a good run going too.
Yeah, it's the first really good restart now that Casey's got in the last 2 or 3. He didn't let Carl get too far out there.
Laps winding around. Remember, across the top of your screen, the ticker shows the cars in green. The numbers are in the chase right now. The ones in yellow are on the bubble. You can watch how your driver move in, maybe move in or out, or how close they can possibly get here.
Carl's running some of the fastest laps of the night here. Late in the race, he's running 1660s, which is about a second faster than these guys can run on old tires deep in a run.
We talked earlier about how Tony Stewart had not been a factor. They've been working on the car. Greg Zipadelli and company getting the car to finally turn in the middle of the corner, and he is trying to turn around the outside of the 22 car. Dave Blaney being shown in 7th position. Mike?
And
Doc, I had a conversation with Greg Zippodelli this morning, and he described this weekend as, quote, stressful. The reason being they came here with their setup from the spring, and it just did not respond at all with the new configuration of this racetrack. Another thing Tony struggled with was the hard left side tire. They couldn't get him comfortable with it, but after all the work they've done on that car tonight, it seems like it's working.
One thing I've noticed about Tony Stewart, if it's got 4 tires on it, he'll figure out a way to get it around the racetrack.
I tell you, you really got to handle the Goodyear. You know, we talked about how hard the tire is, but I've been watching the lap times, and these tires have just not fell off whatsoever. They've been real durable. They've been consistent. And the drivers that put 4 tires on it picks them up for about 10 laps, like we talked earlier in our broadcast. That's about it on speed. Then they level out. But, Jerry, we've been watching the lap timers here, and the top 20 cars almost the same speed.
Very close up front. Here's some contact on the racetrack. 29 and 43 getting together. 43 of Bobby Labonte in 8th spot. The 29 of Harvick. He is the first car at lap down in 21st position.
Kevin Harvick's racing that 10 car to stay on that.
Trouble in turn 1. One car goes up across the wall, slams hard. Jimmy Johnson is into the car.
And we're torn up.
Ricky Rudd.
If you can, get it fired up. Come back around if you can.
See, Ricky's car's torn up.
But we can limp around here.
That 48 car got some pretty good damage in that, too. Jimmy Johnson.
See if you can drive it there.
There's the Jimmy Johnson car. He was involved. He was behind the accident when the cars went up into the wall. He had nowhere to go. He got hit from the front and the side.
It's not as bad as it looked. It looked like he hit pretty hard. These cars are tough. It's like these new cars are really durable.
And that rear wing on the back of Ricky Rudd's car, that's not on too good. Let's take a look at this replay. Ricky Rudd gets loose going at the corner. We saw that in the Busch race yesterday. A lot of problems with that happening. And nowhere to go. And, you know, that's a hard hit with Jimmy Johnson, but the car doesn't look that tore up in the back of it. These things are, man, are like Army tanks.
Oh, it got some help. Ricky Rudd got some help from the one car, it looks like.
Yeah, that different angle showed that. That's good. Let's watch Jimmy. He got hit in the back from Matt Kenseth.
It's on the left.
All right, from Jeff Burton's onboard camera, let's look ahead.
Six slow on the ball. Stay in front of you. He's up high. Easy. Come on. Great job, boss. Great job.
Different angle.
Yeah, Martin Truex got in the back of Ricky Rudd pretty hard early in the corner.
It's like he just punted him in there.
Juan Pablo Montoya gets damaged. 17 car Matt Kenseth. Ricky Rudd, a lot of damage in this accident right here.
Here's the impact. Jimmy Johnson in there. The 17 car had nowhere to go. There's Montoya coming down. Gilliland involved. Somehow Jeff Burton able to snake his way through. Caution for the 8th time. Ricky Rudd making his 58th start at Bristol. His 899th career start. And a piece off of the 24 car now laying on the racetrack for Jeff Gordon.
He lost the whole back end of the car here. Looks like it got knocked loose in this with his contact. And it looks like Michael's helping him get rid of this.
Michael helped cleaning some debris off the back of the 24 car. Back with the green in a moment.
Little League World Series championship coverage continues on ABC.
The dream's still alive, someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
The all-new Chevy Silverado, the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
Lettuce, cheese, juicy all-white meat chicken, and a flour tortilla. Wrapped up with tangy chipotle barbecue sauce. That's a snack you'll get a kick out of. That's what we're made of.
From a past paved in victory comes a future filled with glory. passion never left. I can't, Am. Can you?
Introducing an automotive breakthrough. ZNet, only at AutoZone. Now AutoZoners have the power to find you the right part faster with diagrams, photos, and instructions. So you'll get the job done right the first time, every time. ZNet, only at AutoZone.
Across America, they're getting ready. It's the Captain Morgan Ultimate Pose-Off. Enter, and you can win an ultimate high roller weekend in Vegas. Go to CaptainMorgan.com to enter.
Drink responsibly. Tuesday, one night will determine history. The Bronx is Burning series finale, Tuesday at 10 on ESPN.
We welcome you back to our NASCAR Nextel Cup Series at Bristol, presented by Pennzoil. Aerial coverage courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. Now, one of the classic moves here at Bristol, notably in the late laps, is called the bump and run.
I think the bump and run's fair. I think that's racing. That's the way it is at Bristol. As tough as it is to pass there, if you're a lot faster and you get in front of him and drive away from him.
One thing is moving people to give yourself a bit of room. The other thing is actually hitting somebody up the road. I think it's two different things.
Not to the point of wrecking anyone, but just moving them aside and making a path for yourself. It's become a necessity.
And obviously, there's a fine line there. I mean, if you bump and wreck somebody, it's not good.
At Bristol, it's fair, but it's short track racing. That's just the way it is.
Working on the 88 car, who's gotten one bump and didn't get to run anywhere. He had to run on the pit road and get some of the sheet metal peeled away. Heavy contact. Will we see bump and run in the final 40 laps for the win? We'll find out in just a moment. We come back to Bristol.
There's only one true premium tequila. Cazadores. The one with the deer on it. 100% blue agave from the highlands of Mexico.
I'm all yours. Lewis Jewelers has an extensive collection of designer jewelry in sterling silver and 18-karat gold, with several colors of gemstones from blue topaz to chocolate diamonds. Indulge yourself and find that perfect piece to make truly yours.
We pride ourselves in the quality of jewelry we offer and the superior assistance each customer receives.
If you adore it, Lewis Jewelers must have it.
There's only one true premium tequila. Cazadores, the one with the deer on it. 100% blue agave from the highlands of Mexico.
Joanne Livac, and my website is laidbackracing.com, and it's a site for tailgating race fans. We just hit our 1 million visitor mark. I love Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the colors, the smells, and all the good food. You meet the best people tailgating. They're just so friendly, and to tell you the truth, I've never seen a bad race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You just can't beat it.
Join Joanne and the gang for the Pep Boys Auto 500 weekend, October 26th through 28th. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Real racing, real fast.
You ever notice how similar your car is to a Dish DVR? I can just zip past all the other cars.
And I can pass a guy.
Yeah, and then fall back and pass him again.
Get all your racing action the way you want it with Dish DVR Advantage. The Dish Network DVR lets you speed past the caution flag and get back to the action. Plus, get over 100 all-digital channels, including local channels, for just $39.99 a month. And HBO and Cinemax free for 3 months.
Think I could pause the race and come back and win it later? Superstars.
Dish DVR Advantage. It's about time.
Just 39 laps to go here at Bristol, Tennessee. The question is, will we finally see the bump and run here in the final laps? We saw some bumping in the final laps of the NASCAR Busch Series race here last night, which affected the outcome. Carl Edwards trying to hold them off. They come down to the green flag. Edwards by 8 car lengths over Casey Kane, in front of Clint Boyer by another 4 car lengths. One of the drivers who everyone thought would be a factor tonight is a guy who won in here last August, Matt Kenseth. Hold on one second here. Debris on the racetrack off of one of the cars as they slow him down for caution. Let's check in with Jamie, who's caught up with Matt Kenseth.
And Matt Kenseth won this race the last 2 years in a row, finished in the top 10 9 out of 10 times here. Matt, the good news is you're locked into the chase now, but the bad news, you're done for the night. What happened?
There was a wreck in front of me. I saw it. I just couldn't get slowed down. I was on the brakes as I couldn't. I just couldn't get it to stop. But we had a terrible weekend this weekend. We really didn't finish either race, and we ran really terrible. We just couldn't get our dual fusion in turn. So obviously Carl's is turning good, so we gotta go back and look at that and get our stuff better, because I can't keep up at all.
Well, an uncharacteristic early exit for Matt Kenseth, guys.
Yeah, 8 top 10 finishes here in the last few years, including 2 wins in that 17 car, but he calls it a night here with just 40 laps to go. Back with the restart at Bristol in just a moment.
Pressure, enemy of engines. Enemy of pressure, Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic, with adaptive molecules that continually join forces to help conquer pressure. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Having a half-ton with the most legroom and a fancy rear seat is great, but truckers want to know if it's still got some truck left in it. We'll put it this way. If it'll drawbar or pull 6,400 pounds of dead weight, towing 10,100 pounds is a walk in the park. Hello, Dolly. Available on the all-new Tundra Crew Max, the truck that's changing it all.
Hey, Jimmy, need a little help? Sure. You know what else would be good?
Cobalt tools are so comfortable.
Let me use that screwdriver. No.
You just don't want to quit working.
Yeah. What do you think? Great tools.
Cobalt, the next generation of tough tools.
Well, anything else we can do? There's always my wife's car.
Available exclusively at Lowe's.
It's him again, Danny! Hey! You there?
Look, I said no calls at work.
Oh! Didn't know I had to make an appointment.
Look, I'm just trying to earn some paycheck.
Bring up the $1 million you're trying to win me. What are you doing that's so important? I got stuff going on today too, man. I gotta go shopping for a birthday gift for my girlfriend. She does not want an amplifier. I found that out the hard way.
Enter the Sprint Speed Million Sweepstakes presented by Motorola. You could get a call from an Nextel Cup driver and a chance at $1 million.
Ode to the Subway Melt. Your appetite just wrote a check that only a sandwich of this magnitude can cash. The one and only Subway Melt. A massive, mucho, munchable, mouth-watering melt of a sandwich. Subway. Eat fresh.
A method doctors use to remove warts at the office is also available at home. Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away Wart Remover. Just press and freeze. It works fast in as little as 1 treatment.
See, that was easy.
Remove warts fast with Freeze Away from Dr. Scholl's.
Welcome back. Now it's becoming a little bit more like the Bristol that we know under our 9th caution with just 32 laps to go. Immediately after the race, Sports Center, John Anderson, John Buchagras standing by. We'll have the winner interview with the race winner here, and coast-to-coast NFL action from the preseason. Little League World Series wrapping up this weekend, a walk-off grand slam. Brad, just 32 laps to go. What are we thinking?
I'll tell you what, dig into that couch, sports fans. It's getting ready to get interesting. I'll tell you, Carl Evans has done a great job. He's making that car real wide. It's going to be difficult to get around, but it's going to be fast and furious.
I'm looking forward to the bump and run, Doc.
Can Carl Edwards hold on the final 32 laps? We've seen things get wild and crazy. Rusty, you were part of the wildness and craziness over the years. You've benefited. You've also been the victim of the bump and run.
Oh, I've got the bump and run twice going into turn 3 with the checkered flag waving, and it's cost me the wins. And I finished second in both of those races because of that. But right now, the tension, like I said earlier, is really getting high. 30 laps to go. And Casey Kane is trying to run down the 99 of Carl Edwards, and in both restarts, he's had great restarts, but Carl's just had a little better.
Yeah, Carl's car just gets going on that first one or two laps on the restart and just pulls out away from the 9 car Casey Kane. He just can't seem to get up on that bumper.
Carl's been having a lot of confidence on his restarts, so much we heard him earlier talk about how fun it is to drive right now. And this year he has won almost all of the tracks on concrete. It's really, him and his team have really figured out what they need on these concrete racetracks.
One thing that can really mix this deal up, though, is they catch the tail end of this field and start getting back into that lap traffic like we saw earlier. And that can kind of get all these guys seized up, and no telling what you'll see then.
Carl Edwards looking back at Casey Kane. Edwards broke that 52 race winless streak at Michigan back in June. Now Casey Kane there in the 9 car has a 28 race winless streak, and he hasn't won since October of last year at Lowe's Motor Speedway. But the 99 Dave is the guy to beat right now.
And Doc, just to add on this discussion, crew chief Bob Osborne, one of the things he told me today when I was checking in with him about this race was that there isn't a standout car this weekend. And you guys just talked about if Carl gets into traffic. Bob knows that the 99 car is a little better, but that a lot of other cars, including the 9, have been its equal this weekend. And that traffic could really make the difference. As long as Carl has clean air, he's in good shape.
Now, these cautions have been playing into Carl's hands because he gets these short runs. He can pull out ahead of Casey Kane. But then if they catch these lap cars, though, it's going to mix it up.
Real good battle here for the 8th position. Bobby Labonte and Kyle Busch. Here's a good side-by-side battle.
Now here's one guy that really didn't want the caution flags because, gee, he gets the momentum, he gets passing some cars, and this is Tony Stewart I'm talking about, and now he's trying to overhaul Ryan Newman. Tony wants his thing to run out for a little bit so he can start getting his car running faster and start catching these guys. We got action everywhere right now. The 5 car of Kyle Busch under the 43 of Bobby Labonte, bumping and banging and coming out of front straightaway.
Well, that's 8th and 9th on the left of your screen. On the right of your screen, the battle of 12 and 20. That's for 6th position.
Looks like this high line is definitely the preferred groove. These guys on the bottom are getting frustrated, though. You see Tony Stewart now trying to get clear, and he can't get clear of that 12.
More on Kyle Busch. Alan?
Yeah, it's really quite a rally for this 5-team, Doc. They pitted just before that caution flag waved a little bit earlier, lap 369, and got trapped at the tail end of the lead lap. That meant they were just in front of the leaders. They stayed on the racetrack, stayed in front of the leaders, got another caution, came around, rejoined the end of the field, stayed out again twice more to get their track position back in the top 10. This could lock Kyle Busch's place in the chase, perhaps tonight.
Great run for 2 nights in a row by the 5 car of Kyle Busch. How about Kevin Harvick, the 29 car, back on the lead lap? He was a lucky dog, now being shown in 18th position and moving in on his buddy, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Kevin can't do anything stupid right here, though, because he's sitting right there as they run. He's sitting in 12th spot in the points.
You know, the thing I think that's so amazing, why the fellas that always have problems together find themselves running side by side? This is a big racetrack. I mean, you would think one of them would be at the other end of the track, but they're side by side. Juan Pablo Montoya and Harvick, 2 guys we talked about for the last couple of weeks who just don't like each other.
And cooler heads prevail here in the final 17 laps at Bristol, which is very atypical for what happens here in the final laps of Bristol. Whoops. Almost some contact there.
I wouldn't want to stick my finger between that right front fender and that left rear quarter panel. It might get ripped off. That thing's awful close right now. Kevin Harvick's just been toying with him. He's kind of like, I got him in my gun sights. If I want him, I'm going to get him. But I'm going to stay patient right now.
That's 17th, 18th, 19th is Jeff Gordon. He wiggles a little bit on the lead lap.
And Andy, you got to believe with the rear bumper missing on the 24 car, that's probably not going to hurt him a lot, but the back of that right rear quarter panel's bent in, and that creates downforce. He's probably loose now.
It's probably not going to hurt him too much, though, being as we're on a short track like this. Doesn't seem like the aerodynamics will really kill you at a place like this.
31 car trying to make a move. Jeff Burton was a lucky dog 2 cautions ago. Now he's up in 14th position and racing Robbie Gordon for 13th spot. We talked about how impressive Juan Pablo Montoya was in qualifying, starting on the outside front row, and how well he has run on a very tough high bank short track like Bristol, doing a heck of a job against a veteran short track racer like Kevin Harvick.
He's done a great job throughout the night. You know, Chip Ganassi and Felix Sabates brought this fella over to run their stock cars, and I got to believe that he's exceeded everybody's expectations.
He's doing a great job here, and he doesn't have as much to lose as Kevin Harvick. So if I was Kevin, I'd just be playing it cool around him right here.
Yeah, those two have stayed away. I know we've talked a lot about it, but, you know, they've been pretty good to each other throughout the night. Montoya just barely touched the wall a little bit, but, you know, one thing I've noticed, these cars are like bulldozers. You just can't hurt these things.
10 laps to go at Bristol Motor Speedway. Carl Edwards is the leader by 1.4 seconds over the Dodge of Casey Kane. Clint Boyer is third, Kurt Busch back and fourth, and Tony Stewart now all the way in the top 5.
Boy, Carl Edwards has just really checked out on Casey Kane. And early in the race, Casey just led more laps. He's probably led all year long here tonight. And a strong car. Watch the 42 exit here. Into the wall just a little bit. Barely scraped it. Not enough to hurt the car.
I don't even think it slowed him down.
I don't think it did either. He's got some right front damage from that last caution, that wreck he had. The one with Jimmy Johnson was out. But look at Tony Stewart.
It's a great battle for fourth. 7 laps to go. Tony's going to try to get all he can get right here.
Boy, Tony's car has really come to life here in the final 75 laps after really struggling back at about 20th spot the first 150 laps tonight.
It's a battle for fourth place right now, and Tony Stewart just got it from Kurt Busch. I thought Kurt was a little loose getting off the corner off of turn 4 on that last run just then.
Here's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now remember, he's trying to get in the chase, and he needs to get by as many people as he can and try to get as many spots, particularly this guy here in the 2 car.
It looks like that Kurt Busch is struggling just a little bit right here late, but he's not going to push it too much. Well, it's just like when I say that, they make contact. Both of these guys have a lot to lose here.
Back up front, Carl Edwards trying to pick up his second win in 2007. The 99 car. There's traffic ahead now in the final laps. We saw last night that Jeff Burton early on, even with the best car, can be taken out when things happen here on the racetrack. Edwards trying to work slower traffic.
Absolutely. You know, on the Busch race, Jeff Burton went to the top side of Eric McClure, remember, and the right front tire blew out, so anything can happen. Carl's working this thing really easy. We've got 3 laps to go. He can see the checkered flag here shortly if he keeps his fenders clean. He's running up on traffic right now, though.
3 and a half, I just be easy, nice and smooth. Coming to the white flag, buddy. Coming to the white. He's still 15 car lengths back.
That's Bobby Hudson, the spotter for Carl Edwards up on the roof, just walking him through these last couple of laps.
Carl Edwards could lock himself into the chase for the Nextel Cup if he hangs on and wins it tonight. It would be his second win in 2007, and Carl Edwards will come down and take the checkered flag out of turn 4 as a winner in Bristol, Tennessee. The 7 car spins around. Robbie Gordon is here on the final lap. There's contact. Casey Kane will finish second. Great run for Clint Boyer in third. Tony Stewart all the way up to 4th position, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. rounds out the top 5. And there's Robbie Gordon, the car that had the contact on the final lap. Let's show you what happened to Robbie here just a moment ago.
Car Kevin Harvick gave him just a little bit of help, and again Robbie holds on to it. He has got incredible car control, guys, and he did a good job saving that thing again. But what about Carl Edwards, our in-race reporter? Brought it home tonight. A domineering performance throughout the night. Great run.
He loves his concrete.
He does, Andy. He's won about all the concrete races right now, and gotta love it.
All right, here comes the signature somersault. The fans love it. Carl Edwards on the door, watching backwards. Down with crew chief Bob Osborne.
Bob, Carl said the first time you guys raced here, he was worried about this COT. How did you get it figured out and bring it home to victory here tonight?
Well, I got to thank our engineering department and Ford Engineering. They put a lot of effort into this racetrack, coming up with an entirely new package for us. And it worked great right off the truck. We're really happy with it. I can't say enough about our engineering department, how much they've turned this COG car around for us.
Well, you heard Carl come over the radio and say this is the biggest win of his career. Guys, I can't wait to go to victory lane and hear what he has to say.
Jamie, the very first car of tomorrow win for Ford. It is the 8th career win, or 6th career victory, pardon me, for Carl Edwards. The young man from the Show Me State. He's from Columbia, Missouri, and boy, did he show him tonight.
No matter where you are, no matter how fast you go, what's inside, we'll show everything. Every car, every driver, every ding and dent will be different with this.
Different.
Look. Wow. It's amazing. It's the mirrors.
HDTV powered by DLP. See how millions of tiny mirrors make the picture amazing.
Get 3-year no-interest financing on all Mitsubishi and Samsung HD TVs powered by DLP.
Introducing an automotive breakthrough. Z-Net, only at AutoZone. Now AutoZoners have the power to find you the right part faster with diagrams, photos, and instructions. So you'll get the job done right the first time, every time. Z-Net, only at AutoZone.
Oh, what a wonderful morning. It's time to rise and shine. All I need is a steaming cup of coffee.
Life comes at you fast. But with nationwide Blue Ribbon claim services, you don't have to worry. We can guarantee all your repairs in writing for as long as you own the car.
Nationwide is on your side.
You know, we're similar to NASCAR drivers.
How's that?
Their tires say Goodyear. Our blimp says Goodyear. They go 185 miles an hour.
We're going 35.
It goes faster.
There's Goodyear innovation at the racetrack and at your Goodyear retailer. Now get up to a $40 gift card by mail-in offer with the purchase of 4 select Goodyear tires. Or double your gift card up to $80 when purchased on your Goodyear credit card.
And 36.
Pedal to the metal.
Goodyear. Get there.
Paddling with Deposit Shield. The deposits that attack your engine can cause friction, robbing it of performance and fuel efficiency. Paddling shields it. Defend your engine. Paddling with Deposit Shield.
No driver ever won a race without help.
No owner ever won a championship without a great team.
Now the NASCAR Foundation needs help from its greatest team member, you.
On September 11th, we're inviting all race fans to the track to support the NASCAR Foundation's annual Blood and Marrow Drive.
Donate blood and sign up for the National Marrow Donor Program Registry.
Help us earn the greatest victory of all.
Saving a life.
For more information, visit NASCAR.com/foundation.
Our NASCAR Nextel Cup Series action at Bristol Motor Speedway is being presented by Pennzoil. Not just oil, Pennzoil. By Toyota, moving forward. By Lowe's, for all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together. And by Sprint, featuring NASCAR Nextel Cup Series updates at Sprint Speed. Sports Center coming up next. You'll be able to hear from several of the drivers who competed here tonight. And talking about competing here tonight, what about a Sports Center highlight for this man? Carl Edwards picking up his second win of the year and first ever in a Nextel Cup car at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's go down today.
And Carl jumps off the car for the second time tonight. The first time was a traditional backflip. Well landed again, my friend, but looked like tonight you just had him covered.
Man, this is the biggest win of my career. I cannot thank Bob Osborne enough and all my guys. My pit crew did awesome. And thank my fans for sticking behind us. That means a lot. Office Depot for sure. Everybody helped me. Dwight Laxton and Howard Hall, Mike Mittler, and all the folks who helped me coming up to win here at Bristol. I think it's everybody's dream. I'm going to be in Columbia tomorrow for Sam Russell. My good buddy was injured. We're going to have a bicycle ride at State Farm Insurance. So come out. I don't know if this is going to sink in, man. This is the night race at Bristol's 500 laps, and we want it.
Not only did you do that, Carl, you locked yourself into the chase for the Nextel Cup in 2007. Unbelievable. I am living a dream thanks to Jack Roush, Roush Fenway, Office Depot. Anybody out there who's got a dream, just follow it. This is, I don't even know what to think, man. It's emotional to win this race. It's just, I think, like I said, I watch this a lot. I think every short track racer out there is dreaming about this. My little brother's racing tonight, and I know he's watching. And this Mom, Dad, Kenny, I love you guys. And to win this race is cool. We're back, you know. What more can you say? Carl Edwards wins at Bristol. Alan?
With second place finisher Casey Kane, you led 305 laps tonight, but once Carl got by you, could you just not get back to him?
No, we couldn't. Those guys did a good job. They beat us at the end. We dominated, I think, the first half. The car was really good, and we just got a little bit, car felt good still at the end. He was just cutting through the center a touch better than me, and we run second. So it was good. It was a great weekend for everybody at Gillette Evernham. These teams did a great job. Everybody stepped up, and it's the first time we run go with McDonald's on the car, so it's nice to get a Dodge Avenger up front with McDonald's on it.
Casey heads to Skagit, Washington to race in the charity race with Tony Stewart Wednesday.
Well, the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series event at Bristol Motor Speedway is history, and the magic of Carl Edwards, he wins it here. Back to wrap it up in just a moment.
Need more customers. So, what? Advertise?
Ask the ad guru. Yellowbook.com. Customers know what they want, not always where to find it.
Excellent. Yellow Book.
Business is off the charts.
Wherever you look, Yellow Book.
Yo, oye mamita, no me tomes el pelo. Tú con tanta curva, mira yo sin freno. Wiki, wiki.
What? You told me to bring you a wrap with a little spice.
Yeah.
Wrap, not rap.
Oh.
The wrap you're looking for is the new Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. It's the snack wrap you love, but a little spicier, because it has Chipotle barbecue sauce over juicy and tender chicken breast meat.
Rico.
Whoa! That's one monster case of athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Actin Tenactin. It cools and cures most athlete's foot on the whole foot. Lamisil Gel can't say that. Get boom! Tough Actin Tenactin.
Coors Light Silver Ticket promotion. You get icy cold refreshment plus the chance to win NFL tickets.
Everybody has a chance to get their bite of the apple.
So you're saying everybody gets a chance to win NFL tickets?
The rules are fair.
Regulations?
The regulations are fair.
Competitive balance.
The competitive balance is fair.
Look for the official entry code inside special packs of Coors and Coors Light for your chance to win NFL tickets, even Super Bowl tickets, and more.
Is there anything I can't win?
High performance helicopter.
Bambino calda da testa, una gran testa fa memorar. Dentro in piazza qualche ragazza, vengo con quella cerca menar, vengo con quella cerca menar.
The Trio refrigerator from Kenmore has a place for everything, even berries. So now everything's easy to find. Kenmore, it's that simple.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, take a look at the point standings. The top 5 drivers will be locked into the race to the chase. Dale Earnhardt Jr. there in 13th spot. Gained some points, only 158 back by finishing in 5th position. Now, let's hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Mike Massaro.
And just what Dale Earnhardt Jr. needed in this race for the chase, a top 5 finish. And, well, this boosts you up a little bit of points, but still looks like you got a long way to go.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that. I've had a good night tonight. I just run 500 miles of Bristol, so pretty stoked about finishing 5th. And Sunday off, baby. Finally. All you guys, every time ESPN does a race, it rains our Saturday night, and we have to race Sunday. This is about the worst week ever, having to race on Tuesday. My guys come out here Friday and all day Saturday at 95 degrees out here working all day long. I'm proud of them. They gave me a great car. Proud of Budweiser. My whole team did good. I'm real proud of them. I enjoyed myself tonight. We got by the 2 there at the end. I wanted the top 5, and that was nice to get.
A lot of people paying attention to this race because of the reconfiguration. How did it affect the racing out there from your perspective?
Well, I thought, we ran the top some. The Busch race, the top was great, what I could see. We ran it some tonight, but at the end, the bottom was where you needed to be, and I don't know why that is. Goodyear brought a hard tire because, they wanted to make sure it was a good, safe tire, and it was, and we managed with it. Maybe they dialed the tire down a little bit, get a little softer. The top may come in. I don't know if that's the answer or not. I'm just speculating, but it's got a groove up there. We just couldn't find it tonight.
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings it home 5th, guys.
Good one for Earnhardt Jr. coming up next. Sports Center with John Anderson and John Pucciagrass. Congratulations once again to our race winner, Carl Edwards, winning his 2nd time in 2007. Join me and our entire ESPN race team next week. We head to California Busch Series competition, 9:45 Eastern time Saturday night. Live flag-to-flag cup coverage at 7 Eastern on Sunday. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.